The Gramaticon, a book about the power of words, written and illustrated by Mitchell Dickinson Jr., published in 2021, in loving memory of Mitchell Dickinson Sr. To the reader of this book, remember, you are an eternal being woven by strings of light to exist in this special hour. Part 1. Questions. In the darkness of his room, he sat there in his loneliness and misunderstandings. Why is this happening? Why all this suffering? He trembled. And when he finally gave up trying to understand, a flash of light appeared before him in the room. And from it, a glowing eye that shined in every color that was and wasn't. It only remained opened. It did not blink. It only looked. The boy gazed back into the glow of his iris, and from it, his reflection formed. Why is this happening? Why all this suffering? The reflection cried. The boy then shouted, Tell me then, because he's gone now, and I'll never understand why. And in a blink of an eye, he was transported unto a cloud where he was lifted above the world. And what is this? And his stomach began to tingle with butterflies. He flew up past the clouds, and under him he saw the strange illuminating lights of the city. He began to giggle, and the feeling of the air flowing over him was refreshing. Life is sort of funny, isn't it? The eye asked. But when it spoke, it was in a boy's own voice. The boy thought about it for a second. Yeah, it is. And he broke into a fit of laughter. What's so funny? The eye asked. I guess it's all kind of funny. Things are happening, yet from up here, it doesn't look like much is happening at all. Ah, the eye replied. The boy had a notion. You know what? After you explain a joke, it sort of isn't funny anymore. What isn't funny? The eye asked. It's just so peaceful up here. Why can't it be like this all the time? And suddenly, the cloud under them began to slow down, and they floated softly upward until they came to a halt. They arrived at a platform that seemingly went on forever, yet from it a gate lifted. The cloud from under him dissipated and set him onto the platform. He looked over the edge, afraid to fall. He peeked over, only to see endless sky under him and no earth or stars. The boy turned to the gate behind him, wondering if he should enter. Well, I guess it beats standing around here, he huffed and passed through its jaws. When he walked through the gate, it was as if he fell through a swirling vat of colors, and each had a feeling of its own. They flowed through his body, making him feel every which way, until he abruptly landed on some ground under him. Disoriented, he stood to his feet to speculate the area. What is this place? He turned his gaze only to see a very dark room with flickering lights floating about him like fireflies made of rainbows. The storehouse of the lexicons. This is where words can be seen for what they truly are, the eye explained. Words? The boy asked. Yes. Part 2. The word. Then, before the boy's very eyes, a dense mass began to form, and it floated in his sight. The eye spoke. This is the word. The boy poked it, and it began to vibrate and jiggle. The boy was amazed. What is it made out of? And without hesitation, the eye spoke as if it knew the question was to come. The word is made up of several elements. The same elements that construct this very room, and the same elements that construct your understanding of reality and everything you think you are. The boy was yet to understand, but he nodded and listened. Then the word began to unravel, like a shirt that was torn at the seams. The boy was curious and began to take a closer look at the word. When he did, he saw what seemed like some stringy material. He tugged at the string, and it exposed the form of the string. They almost seemed to sing in his fingers, and they were in constant movement and shifting in colors. The eye spoke. These balls of string that you see here are what we call perplexicons. They are made up of three main components: concepticons, conundricons, and comprehensicons. Perplexicons are made up of pure essence. They are the visual embodiments of emotions, concepts, and thoughts, and can be sensed through energy and vibrations. The eye moved through the space. Here, hold out your hands, the eye commanded, and he formed two perplexicons in front of him. This is the word happy, and he placed it in the boy's right hand. This is the word sad, and he placed it in the boy's left hand. Can you feel the difference? The eye spoke. In the boy's right hand, the word happy seemed to feel lighter. In his left hand, sadness carried more weight. The boy nodded. These factors combined create the experience, which is this place and all places. They are called perplexicons because they can be examined but not seen, felt but not touched. And as for the three main elements that comprise them, concepticons are concepts, thoughts, and emotions you can understand. Conundricons are those you choose not to understand, while comprehensicons are your pure understandings of truths, the undeniable facts of your life. And the adhesive that holds it all together is love. For without love, you wouldn't care to carry these experiences with you. And just as they have the power to construct your reality, you also have the power of the word to construct yours. Then, the space of the room cleared up like a fog clearing up from the wind. The eye spoke. Behold, and from the cluttered space of orbs was an even emptier, larger space. Is this another place? The boy asked. This is your planet, also known as the heart. It is created specifically by comprehensicons, for it is the floor under you on which you stand, and we call this phenomenon understanding. Oh, I understand. Yes, your heart is the planet on which perplexicons can be felt. This is why it is said that words can weigh heavily on your heart, the eye explained. Okay, so you showed me happiness and sadness. I guess those are just emotions. Can you show me something else? The boy added. Of course. What do you want to see? The eye asked. You mentioned something about a conundrous something. Something about not wanting to understand. I don't get it. Can you show me one up close? The eye looked down, and from the pits of the heart it conjured a conundricon. The boy held it and went into a deep trance. Wait, is this me from earlier? Yes, the eye replied. Is this real? Yes, the eye replied. Why do I look so alone? Why is it so dark in there? Why am I crying? Am I depressed? Yes, the eye replied. Am I going crazy? Yes, the eye replied. Why is this happening to me? Because you are letting it. So, I only think I'm going crazy because I believe I am? The eye motioned forward towards the boy. Exactly. You see, conundricons are caused by unnatural, linear, and mechanical thinking. Unnatural, as in trying to make what exists not exist. It is, in its very nature, unintuitive and destructive. Conundricons cause psychosis. They are the result of the resistance of understanding or the denial of understanding. These sorts of perplexicons find themselves in the pit of the heart and occasionally surface. They can be dealt with when you simply choose to understand them. After the boy heard these things and understood, the Conundricon in front of him unraveled and became a part of the horizon, and his world felt larger. The boy took a second to think. So ideas, real or fake, all exist in here? And I have the power to see whatever I want just by thinking about it? Yes, although here in the storehouse of the lexicons, words are merely a projection. True experiences take real action. This is so much. Why are you showing me all these things? Because you wanted to know. The boy took a breath and paused, trying to digest all he had heard. But the eye had more to say. There is, however, one more thing. And what is that? The boy hesitated to ask. And as he did, the vibrancy of the eye's glow grew more intense. The question and the answer the eye revealed. Then, into being, a massive gate appeared in front of them, with a glorious lock, and in the boy's hand appeared a shimmering key. The boy was amazed at the brilliance of the gate. Then, the eye spoke again. In your hand is the question. Behind this gate is the answer. The boy wondered at the gate. What's behind the gate? He asked. You tell me, the eye replied. The boy took a second to think. Do I even want to know? And the gate grew even larger, and the key shined even brighter. Do you want to know? The eye replied. You have the solution. It's right there in your hands, and the answer is right behind that gateway. The eye continued. The boy took a second to think, searching for the right words. Well, what does this gate mean? He finally asked the eye. It means everything changes for you. It means from here on out, you will have the answer, but you'll be living in the question. Or you can always just wonder. Before the boy would react, he stood there and contemplated at the gate, the eye waiting not far behind him. And with a deep breath, he proceeded. Here goes nothing, I guess. He extended his arms towards the gate, key in hand. He entered it into the lock and twisted his wrist. He pushed the gate open and saw through the other side. He saw what looked like some empty darkness until he stepped through the gate. Once he did, he saw islands begin to form, and they became planets and stars. He reached towards them and flew up to them. They glowed and were all exotic in their splendor. He flew past galaxies and nebulae, but then he remembered the Earth. And in the distance, he saw a twinkling light, and when he focused on it, he was compelled by it and was propelled to it, and he fell before the Earth. He began to remember his home and his family, his bed. He fell through his room where it was dark and cold. He saw himself lying there in a deep sleep. He floated towards his body. He looked around the room for the eye, but it was not there, so he decided to fall into his own skin. The end.
A poem to the reader of this book, read by Emily. When you look at me, what do you see? A pound of flesh and limbs speaking verbally, a pool of consonants and vowels that form a seemingly cohesive conscious stream of thoughts. Ornaments to decorate my carbonated body, adorned with colorful drapes and textiles. A crowned head of charcoal-colored wool, an exterior coated by a melanated epidermis, a biome of microscopic organisms, an automated process of chemical reactions that led it to the stage here. Do you see somebody, or do you see someone who feels with their heart and not their hands, led by their intuition, forsaken by their intelligence, self-destructive and self-indulgent? A tongue that exposes their heart to the elements that undresses them when they wish to speak bare truth, alienated by their own representative. Wanting to fit in, trying to figure it out, wanting to loosen up, constantly facing anxiety, trying to say it right. But can this come out right? Can you understand me? Do you see what I see? Do you see internal beings woven by strings of light, traversing dimensions to exist in this hour? Energy fields and vibrations radiating from mental origins, spirits that whisper sweet nothings, and everything, ornaments that emit subtle transmissions. Wavelengths, much like bloodlines, are the same thing, permeated into a solar body, inherited by cosmic radiation, children of the sun. Physically, photosynthesis, a love that powers my organic body and drives my inorganic mind, constantly struggling to take the path of least resistance, to avoid the powers that try to dim their light, try to take their right, casting limiting beliefs like nets for catching free butterflies, cosmic vehicles, divine devices for a divine purpose. When ill-defined becomes malnourished, feed it with love and truth and watch it grow. What I see is a heart of stone turned flesh, flesh turned light. What do you see? OG vibe.